Yo!
Welcome back. Oh,
Hello.
wait.
Hello, world.
Yes.
Hello, cruel world.
Very cruel. Very, very cruel.
Very cruel world. I don't know.
Welcome, everybody, to Fear the Hive 1155 podcast. This is my co-host, Steven, and I'm Dom.
Well, why are you molesting the microphone?
No. That's not molesting the microphone. This is molesting the microphone.
You have too much practice. You did that too smooth. You fell into that character way too quickly.
How y'all doing out there in YouTube land?
But then again, you are a Chris Brown fan, so I mean, you know.
What? Chris Brown, R. Kelly, two different people.
Too easy.
Chris Brown, really? R. Kelly, two different people. Very much so.
I mean, one's dark skin, one's light skin, one's in jail, one's not in jail. One's worth a bunch of millions of dollars. One is worth negative 100,000. One's somewhere in backwoods North Carolina. The other one is out herking, jerking, popping, and locking and stuff on tour.
I was gonna say Chris Brown did get the crown from handed to him from Michael Jackson, but that doesn't help the case. So
when did that happen?
It's pretty understood that happened.
You know what? I've come to understand that anytime someone says that's understood, I mean, someone in that circle made a decision, and everybody else.
What is it? Is that secret Jordan versus Kobe game that happened, but nobody knows the result of it?
Man, you need to take hat today. A Jordan versus Kobe game, and nobody knows the results of it. You think that they could play each other one-on-one and not tell anyone?
Nope.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. That can't be the case. Because if Jordan won, we'd have heard about it. And if Kobe won, we'd have heard about it. So it's not gonna go unheard. Like, there's not gonna be a game like that without a press release afterwards. Come on.
Nah, man. Maybe they just said, let's keep it under wraps. Hey, we'll play, 1st to 7. It is what it is.
Do you not watch The Last Dance? Do you not know the legend of Kobe Bryant? They would never let the other live it down.
It's true. It's very
Kobe
true.
was like out of the league for 5 years. You think he ain't tell that story to nobody? Please. Anyhow, that's the other podcast for another day. Welcome to 1155 Fear the Hive. This is our lifestyle podcast. Glad to have you guys here. What are you?
Was that wailing inflatable flailing tube man? Okay. So you didn't see that. So you didn't see that episode of Family Guy.
I mean, I did. Did you ingest something? Did you have a chocolate? Okay. All right.
I didn't. At least not this week.
You know what? We gotta move on. We've got to. Speaking of illegal substances, is Nicki Minaj on crack?
Oh, absolutely. I don't doubt it. But I mean, what would spark all of this controversy? Like what?
I'm unsure if it's a rollout or if it's actual beef. But normally, if it's a rollout, the tracks in response are better than this. Because that crap that Nicki gave us was hot, roasting, week-old garbage. Like, seriously, no. I mean, I'm embarrassed to have listened to it. That's how bad it was to me. But,
That bad?
Well, I mean, come on. If Nicki holds a certain place amongst people of a generation that like lyricism, old school style, not new school style, old school style. Like, she has the ability to, she just, shat the bed,
Well, okay, so does Nicki actually write her stuff though?
Don't care.
It
don't care.
It does matter. It does.
Wait, hold on. Wait, in the grand scheme of things, it matters. As it pertains to this track, doesn't matter at all. I don't care who wrote it. You put it out, right? Which means that the bars are yours and they suck.
Exactly. I mean, but yeah. So if she wrote it, then she's a bad rapper.
So,
if she got somebody else writing it, they need to be fired.
Either way it goes, we stuck talking about her and her pedophile rapist husband, and her pedophile rapist brother.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You did know that though, right?
So I think I do remember. I think I heard something about that about her husband. I didn't know that her brother.
He can't live within 100. He can't live within like 1,000 feet of a school. What are you talking about? He can't go within like 500 feet of a school. What are you talking about? Murderer, pedophile, or rapist, depending upon how you want to put it. I mean, the end result is the same thing. He was convicted of having sexual relations with underage. Oh
my gosh.
Minors.
And she's married.
That's double.
Like how can you marry somebody? Like I understand a lot of people can change, if they really want to enough, but at the same time, but yeah, something like that. Something like that.
No, people can change. People can change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to hold the ability to change away from people.
Right.
But he don't act like a person that was a killer pedophile and has changed. So that's what you get stuck with, right? If your actions change and your demeanor, the way you move change, then, don't slap the old stuff on him. But he came out just yesterday and said, oh man, Nicki out here looking childish and that's kind of hot. Really? You think that's a good thing to say? Like, wow. Of all the things that you could say.
Wow.
About this, right? Oh man, I love it when she's mad. It turns me on. No. She's out here acting childish and that's kind of hot. Really?
Nah,
dude, man. Come on. Yeah, let's not picking a fight with Meg for absolutely no reason. She didn't mention your name. She just alluded to people in her life that were, snakes and backstabbers, and you took that as an offense. So here we are talking about the very thing that we didn't want to talk about, not knowing whether or not it's a rollout or not. Right. Now, Meg, did you see Meg this morning on Good Morning America?
Mm-mm.
Okay, this summer is going to be wild. Let me tell you why. She's going to drop her album and she's going on tour, which means the first hot girl summer ever is about to happen. And I tell you one thing I do not want to be at. That concert.
Why not?
For why? For who? For what?
Well, okay. Aside, you being like you being like 30 something. Why would
40 something? 40 something?
Look, I was trying to give you some years. Okay.
I embrace my 40s. Completely, wholeheartedly embrace my 40s. But even if I was 35 and not turning 45, still wouldn't want to go to that concert. Have you ever seen any pictures of her performing? Any videos of her performing?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the crowd?
No. I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to the crowd watching those videos.
Not only is it not my crowd, even if it was my crowd, y'all got it. Y'all got it. It ain't really for the crowd. Ain't really for dudes. Like,
true. Yeah, you're right.
It's like, yo, this is a girls' concert, and I hope that y'all enjoy it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
This is one of those. Your woman comes to you and says, "I'm gonna go to Megan Thee Stallion concert." Be like, "All right, well, take your girls. I'm not going. Bye." Y'all have fun.
You know what card to use for the Uber. That's all you need. That's all you need. Because I do not suggest you drive there, because I don't think no. No.
It's Sexy Red on the ticket.
Sexy Red is still pregnant, so I would imagine probably not.
That don't mean nothing to her.
Come on, man.
Whatever, man. I saw like a snippet of the video that she did not too long ago when she was pregnant. I was just like, you really want to be doing that? Like, this is the internet. That stuff lives forever.
I was just about to be crass. I'm not gonna be crass. I'm gonna let it ride.
Nah, man. Talk your stuff, man. Talk your stuff.
No, thank you. I'm gonna have to look back at this portion of the podcast in years to come, and I don't want to be on camera saying what I was thinking in my head. It was real bad. It was real bad. Having to do with pregnancy and that song that she has out now, and how she might not be able to sing that song after. Anyhow,
it's fair.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be a hot girl summer. Happy for her. Do your things. Get your money up. Yeah. Rock Nation. Yay.
Wait, she signed to Rock Nation?
Oh, come on, Dominique.
I did not know that. Wow.
And I was aware of the beef that she had with her label, right? J Prince. Mm-hmm. She's on the label of J Prince, and she had beef because she said she wasn't getting paid, accounting, money, all this good stuff. Jay stepped in. They had an amicable dissolution of their relationship based on Megan's last album being put out, which is why she put out all the mixtapes and albums before, and now she's on Rock Nation.
Wow, and that's I put it like this: any big name artist that's on Rock Nation, they don't just get the money.
That's the pipeline.
They get the long-term money.
That's the pipeline.
I mean, J. Cole, Rihanna.
Yeah, that's the pipeline. You got access to all the touring stuff. You got access to all the infrastructure. You got access to it all. And so she's doing it now. Play. Man, look, Jay said, I'm trying to get to 10 bill.
I'm building wealth.
I'm building wealth. Your thing. Do your thing. I'm going to judge you just like I judge the other billionaires, but do your thing. Do your thing. But yeah. No,
that's crazy.
That's the relevant beef, spice, tea, whatever you want to call it. Hey, are you still on Twitter?
You mean X?
I will never. Are you still on Twitter? Won't ever do it.
Here and there. It just depends. I get a lot of EV news through Twitter, but that's pretty much where I stop.
Oh, that's right. Because you like the company that's ran by that guy.
I don't. I do like the company.
The big pasty white guy. Oh, did you see? Yo, he just got a ruling against him saying that the company can't pay him his like $50 billion compensation package.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'd be hot.
That is an understatement. Yo, can you imagine
my $50 billion?
Can you imagine being at the crib and you get the phones off? Yeah, so it didn't go our way. What do you mean it didn't go our way? You're not getting the $50 billion. They're not gonna let me get the.
It's like, you do realize that your retainer was tied to that, right?
Bruh.
You better figure it out.
Can you imagine expecting a $50 billion check and you don't get nothing? Oh man! Or they pushed it back. I am
into a billionaire. That's like the equivalent of me waiting on my $5 million settlement check and it's saying it's not coming. Like that $50 billion to him actually means something.
I don't know if it does. I mean, it does, but it don't. Like it ain't the same, man. It's not the same.
$50 freaking billion.
Dominique, if I got $10 million and I lose half, I'm going to be mad, but my life is not changing at all.
True. That's because at a certain point, it's just...
That's my point. That's my point. I mean, $50 million means a lot because it is a lot. But if you were more than like 3?
Yeah, but how much? Okay, but that $50 billion, wouldn't that be liquid though?
I don't even know. I didn't look that hard at it. I would imagine so. It's part of. Oh no. I would imagine so. It's part of this compensation package. It was probably
in stock.
It's probably some liquid, some in stock, right? Like being able to turn some of his stock into something or another.
But he can't necessarily like sell a bunch of it either at once, or else it
because he'd take the stock price. Yeah. So yeah. So but yeah, no, I'd be upset. Lifestyle wouldn't change, but still.
No. Man, that's 50 billion is 50 billion.
Hey Elon, we gonna wire you that 50 billion next week. All right. Judge said no. What? Imagine waiting on a $50 billion wire transfer and the day before you get news from your lawyers like, nah, it ain't gonna happen. Man, I had plans for that 50 billion, bro.
Oh, I had plenty of plans. I was
Plans for that
gonna
50
buy a new
billion.
yacht. A whole new yacht.
While we speaking of billionaires, you know your boy ain't the richest man in the world no more, right?
Who? Bezos?
He's no longer the richest man in the world.
Wow. Who upseated him?
The not the owner, but the principal stock owner of LVHM Luxury.
LVA. What is that?
If you think about any luxury brand, this dude has purchased it in the last 20 years. Name a luxury brand. Doesn't matter what it is. Name one.
Audi.
Well, I mean, that's a car. I don't think he owned that one. He might. But I mean, like a luxury man, like
Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy.
Freaking what do you call that?
Multinational holding conglomerate.
Tag Heuer, Fenty,
yeah.
Freaking Gucci. Like this dude owns
Sephora, Moet, Chandon.
There's
Dior, Tiffany and Co.
Bernard Arnault. This dude is rich.
You know what's bad about this?
What?
He was born in 89. What am I doing with my life?
No, he was not. That man's old.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's been CEO since 89. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I was about to say no, sir. No, sir.
Oh,
sir.
He's stupid.
No, sir. He's getting ready to see the Lord or the devil, however you want to put it. But they own LVHM owns everything.
How much does he have?
$229 billion. Yo, this is how we know that the world's in a real bad place.
Money.
There's no way any one person should be worth $229 billion.
Well, so I put it like this. So here's a number, right? There's a magic number where everything after that doesn't matter. And that number is like 10 billion. Even at that, even 5 billion. Numbers don't matter after that. Like however much you're making after that does not matter one bit.
Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy.
And you have $207 billion.
229.
Like, I think me and my coworkers one day were looking at how hard you would have to work to spend that kind of money, like to go broke. You'd have to buy a lot of stuff, and even at that, you would just essentially interest would just be replenished.
So here's what really turned me on the billionaire class. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I was following this person on Twitter, and they did an experiment. They wanted to know how much rice you would have to have if each kernel of rice were worth $10,000. That dude did 1 million, no sweat. He did 1 billion. That was like 8 pounds
of rice.
And this dude got 229
of rice. So if 8 pounds was 10 billion, 200 times 20.
There's
oh my
no
God.
Way on the.
That's 160 pounds of rice.
Okay, I'll take it even further. Hold on.
That scale is crazy.
I take it even further. Right?
Mm-hmm.
1 million seconds is 1,666 minutes and 40 seconds. Right? Okay. So 11 days and 13 hours.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. That's 1 million seconds.
Yep.
Guess how many seconds 1 billion seconds is?
Wait. Time out.
Keep in mind, 1 million seconds is 11 years.
So not, huh? What? So that's 11 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then that means the next scale is like 1,111 years or something.
Yo, what's up with my whatchamacallit? Yeah, I think you're right. It's really close.
Yeah.
It is. Hold on.
That is crazy money.
1 billion seconds is 31 years.
Mm. But like, do you know how much stuff like
A million seconds is 11 years. A billion is 31. This dude got $229 billion. This dude has freaking 6,000 years worth of seconds.
That's unfathomable. And then here's the scale. Like, he has 207 billion, but like when you look at it, each billion and 207 billion is like $999 million. When you're just like, what does his taxes look like? Like, throughout the year, you're spending a whole bunch on charity.
Wait, it's a great question. The answer is he pays taxes lower than your rate.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he pays taxes lower than your rate, lower than my rate. Yeah, like,
which is stupid.
Well, when you can buy politicians, if I was worth $229 billion, I'd buy a few politicians too.
Dude, you're changing politicians' net worths with pocket change. You could, like, with that kind of money, you can literally buy a presidency. You could give every person in seat in Congress.
You wouldn't need to buy a presidency. You just buy the Supreme Court. That's what the dude did when he bought Clarence Thomas. Like, you buy the Supreme Court, so they rule in your favor, and now you don't have to worry. Who cares if the president?
Talk about lobbying for $207 billion. You can give every person in Congress. Well, let's say the Senate
$1 million.
No. If you actually want them to do something, hey, here's $100 million to each of you, and you still have more than enough money left over. You could, like, how many seats are in the Senate? Like
100.
100. You could give away $100 billion.
$1 billion
to each of them to vote in whatever favor that you're trying to do something, and they would take it, and you still have money left over to do whatever you felt.
So consequently, it's the reason why. Stupid. It's the reason why we're doing nothing as America over in Israel. It's the reason why we're doing absolutely nothing. You want to know why? Because a whole bunch of Jewish millionaires and billionaires who have done the work of purchasing politicians and shaping U.S. policy, so much to the fact that we will watch in real time genocide, which is happening in Israel right now, and say nothing. Genocide, war crime. You know what? Yesterday, somebody posted on Twitter, and it was verified by the BBC, that the IDF, the Israel Defense Force, entered a hospital disguised as patients to assassinate 3 people.
Gosh, that's war, man. Wow.
Last week, which we didn't get to talk about, there was video and confirmation that the IDF was shooting people, was sniping people in churches that were journalists. Christian churches, mind you. So I know everybody's not talking about it. We're not really talking about it a whole lot because, I mean, what more can you say? But this is like, come on, man. Like,
well, so in response to that, I have a coworker. They are participating in like boycotts in some way, shape, or form to not support companies that are, giving money to either side, or that's giving money to either side over there. So they're like McDonald's, Starbucks, blah, 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 and this and that. And, we got to talking about it, and I was like, well, how much, I understand you guys are doing this, but like how it would take a collective effort to actually move the needle on that. And like, you're not supporting, but majority of other people are. It's like, are you really doing anything? Like, is it really doing anything?
Is my personal level of inconvenience worth it? Is the question, right? So I'm not against boycotting.
No.
But if you're going to ignore my boycott, which is what the administration is doing right now, which is what all of these companies are doing right now. I mean, it'd be like asking people in Montgomery during the Montgomery boycott that didn't ride the bus ever to not ride the bus. Right. You're not hurting them.
Right.
You know, you're not hurting them.
And,
Right.
and that's where I say, like, what would need to happen is, like, you would have to do this like on a at least a national scale, to where everybody actually agrees to say, you know, for a week we're not spending money here, 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 and here.
Or
And even at that, you'd have to do it for longer to really hit the pockets.
or you would do something like support candidates who voice the general and collective displeasure of most people in the United States about the fact that the United States isn't doing anything, right?
Yeah.
Or you would pull together money and freaking create ads. Like,
Yeah.
there are things that can be done. It's just, it's jacked up. It's all kind of jacked up right now. And I mean, I know this is a pretext to spending money. It's pretext to, you know, replenishing the military industrial complexes coffers, because we're sending money over there, but we're also sending bullets and ammunition and all these
Stuff
bombs
that we're
and
not
stuff,
using, that we're just like, you know what, we got to buy that anyway. So
well,
yeah,
we have to make them again.
Yeah.
So let's
And
get
it's
rid
all the
of
more
them.
it's all the more reason.
Make them again, you know, so that we can continue to employ these people that these military freaking contractors are employing in the heartland of America. Otherwise, everybody in the heartland would be on freaking opioids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like these 3 servicemen in Jordan getting killed. First of all, I was reading something. I was like, when do we start having service people in Jordan? Like, when do we start having military in Jordan, like that active military? That's number one. Number two, I thought I saw a report that said it was 3 Marines, which would be really, really bad.
It was 3 Marines.
And you know what that means?
They were what is it? They weren't Marines. They weren't necessarily active duty Marines. They were reservists.
Why do we have? Not going to ask. What I do know, yeah, you're right. Along with 3 Army soldiers, yeah. But what I do know is we're about to bomb the heck out of something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
something's about to get blowed up.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, like I said, all these, you know, I'm not opposed to boycotting and whatnot, but it's like, do you actually think what you're doing will make the government say, okay, we'll stop since you guys are boycotting? No, they don't care. They're going to do what they need to do. They're trained to do that.
Look, man. Okay. Theory time.
All right.
Theory time.
Theories.
I love white people. I hate whiteness. Right? I love white people as much as I love anybody else. I hate whiteness. Right?
Yeah.
Because what whiteness does is it perpetuates itself. It protects itself. It advantages itself and disadvantages everyone else. And what the Jews are doing, what the Zionist Jews are doing, let me be clear, what the Zionist Jews are doing in Israel is white people stuff. They're doing white people stuff. They are perpetuating themselves. They are protecting themselves. They're advantaging themselves. They're securing their place of power to the detriment of everyone else, simply because they can and they feel threatened. Right? And if white people in America would push back against whiteness in America, it would stop the virus of whiteness around the globe. Right? Whiteness masquerading as class warfare, right? Some people say, well, it's just class warfare. It ain't just that. I've got people that are, it's not really about black or white, it's about class. No. It's about black and white too, right?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, we don't talk about it much, but they have the same kind of class race issues in India, right? We know about their caste system because we've read about it. It's been documented, and it ain't changing no time soon, but it's the same ness. It's the same, you know, mode of operations there, right? And if more white people would push back against it, then it would have a harder time maintaining. But they would have, like, there is an inherent fear that is present. Nobody talks about it. Nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to dive into it. We'll talk about generational trauma being carried on from slaves to their ancestors, which is true, documented at this point. But nobody talks about the fear of whiteness, the fear that whiteness holds and that motivates it to do everything that it does. Like, and it's infuriating.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it is infuriating,
and you know,
exhausting.
When I was talking to my coworkers about that, you know, it's just like, I come from a military background. My parents were military, living overseas, and just seeing what that is like I said, we can, as a civilian, you can protest, do what you want. I get it. But like I said, it's not, they don't care. They're getting their money from a lot of other places, so that does not stop anything. They're going to do what needs to be done.
Except for Starbucks. Starbucks is taking it right now. They're taking an L. Like, it's bad. And I'm happy. Yeah, but let's put it this way. In order to make a dent, you have to make them really feel like they're going out of business from this. And, you know, it's going to be one of those things, after it's done, or if it does happen that it's done, people are just going to go back and buy their coffee in Starbucks in droves again. And, you know, it'll be back. But like, you have to bring them to the brink of like, oh crap, we have to shut some doors. Once they start shutting doors, then it will be working. Yeah.
But if we're not shutting doors, there's nothing being done.
It's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard. Like, I don't understand. I was talking with my kids during the celebration of the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I was explaining to them how racism and the evils of whiteness itself works, right?
Right.
And my son, he said, well, why don't these people just get together and vote together, and then we could change some things, right? I was explaining to them the different tax brackets, right? It's a very crude, example that I was giving them. I wrote down how much we were all getting paid, and I wrote down different percentages, and I was showing how, the person that's getting paid the most is paying a lower percentage, and that's why we can't do certain things, like fix roads or fund schools or, all these other things. They were like, well, why don't the people that are poor just get together and vote together? I was like, aha. Like,
now, here's your voter registration card, but I'm just gonna take it from you because you lost.
I didn't even go into voter suppression or having the right to vote stripped away from you, or having your precinct closed, or having the hours changed, or not being able to get water in line,
to get to there, to the voting polls,
or the voting day not being a holiday and people actually have to work to make a living and not being able to vote. Like, I didn't get any of that. I just got to the fact that, if they voted together and they could change some things, and they never do, because we're all divided, and we're divided.
And that's how they want us.
We're divided because people consolidate power that way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't for the life of me figure out why white women allowed Roe versus Wade to be overturned. I can't for the life of me.
All right.
Now, I was listening to NPR like 4 days ago, right? Like their weekend podcast. And they were talking about how the number of rapes in red states has increased like 20% since the ability to get an abortion was removed. And I'm like, y'all could have stopped this.
It's all well and good till a congressman's daughter, granddaughter, or somebody, it happens to them.
That ain't gonna stop it. Because if that were going to stop it, that would have already stopped it, right? Every woman knows a woman that has been raped a little or assaulted a little.
Yeah,
right. That's a thing. Yeah. That's a thing, and it's a shameful thing to admit as a man that every woman knows some woman that has had that experience, but that they don't stop it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Come on, like you gotta.
This country going to hell in a handbasket, man.
You gotta
like simple things to protect your people. And you're like I remember when that was going on. It's like, wait, are we really contemplating overturn? Like out of nowhere, like
they've been planning it for years. They've been planning it for years.
But for what? What's the purpose to overturn Roe v. Wade?
You want to know why? You want to know why? You have to have a large population that you can subjugate, right? And you have to have the ability to make sure that women can't supplant you. Right? So if a woman getting pregnant means that she's not eligible for management, upper level management, vice president, CEO, then them white guys that are in those positions don't have to worry.
But
even though these women have gone to school, they're more than qualified. They got the degrees. They have the experience. If them just getting pregnant disqualifies them, they never have to worry. All they got to do is wait around for someone to get them pregnant.
That's horrible. But rape out of like what?
Well, I mean, what do you overturning Roe versus overturning?
That is despicable.
All of it is.
That overturning is despicable. I don't even use that word often.
It's not tantamount to rape, but it's the same kind of power play. Right?
Oh,
it's kind of power at play, an exercise of power, unnecessarily, might I add. Like
rape out of come on, man.
What? Think about it. Do you know how many states have no exception for rape or incest for abortion? I live in a state that does. Texas is so bad. If they find out that you're pregnant and you go to another state and have an abortion, they will arrest you. But if I drive you, they will arrest me and attempt to prosecute me. You heard about the girl in the black lady in Ohio that had a miscarriage, not an abortion, just a regular old miscarriage. She was at the hospital, went to the hospital, had a miscarriage for a normal pregnancy that she wanted to have. Her nurse, who I was reading just the other day about how nurses and teachers are just another extension of law enforcement. That's another conversation for another time. Her nurse called the police, had her arrested. They put her on trial for manslaughter, I believe it was.
For a medical condition that just they can't stop for any reason.
For dying in a natural way, which they considered tantamount to abortion. And they were willing to prosecute her for it. They attempted to prosecute her for it. They did, and they failed. But her life, can you imagine that? A woman having a miscarriage and then being arrested for the miscarriage, the thing that she was trying to stop?
And then having to go to court and defend that and relive it. This country is perfect. It's perfect.
It's the disease of whiteness. It ain't all white people. All white people are not bad.
No.
Right? But just like all cops ain't bad, the ones that ain't bad ain't stopping the ones that are.
Right. And which at that point, you're guilty by association.
Well, I mean, how good can you be if you're not stopping someone like you from doing bad stuff? Like exactly. If I'm with my homeboy and my homeboy drugs a girl and takes her, we get in the car and I drive them back to the house and she is unconscious and he starts taking her clothes off and rapes her. What am I?
Yeah.
I'm an accomplice.
Yeah, you might as well done it.
I am not a good guy if that happens.
Yeah.
Right? I should be prosecuted just like him if that happens.
Yeah.
If I allow that to happen. Right? The same principle, like you said, you're watching, you're allowing this to happen.
Yep.
Literally, if 10% more white women voted against Republicans that wanted abortion ever, We still have the access to that, and we wouldn't have a dysfunctional government with a House of Representatives that doesn't want to work with the Senate ever. Well, actually, they're trying to get it together now, but Trump's screwing that up. But yeah.
But I mean, the current situation, the status quo keeps Starbucks in their hand, and them driving the nice cars that they do, and
gotta have my espresso, baby.
Yep, not having to work every day.
By the way, can I say this? Starbucks is horrible coffee.
I don't really drink Starbucks on a regular, so I wouldn't even know. I don't even drink coffee like that.
It's horrible coffee. In the grand scheme of things, it's like you wanting a Coca-Cola and somebody gives you a cola. Not the same. And until
I don't know good coffee anyway.
You don't know the difference. You'll know the difference. You'll know the difference. Do you get coffee? You don't know. I bought my wife a cappuccino maker last year. My cappuccinos, not cappuccino, an espresso maker.
Yeah. Espresso.
My flat whites, my blended drinks, right? All head and shoulders above anything that I've gotten at Starbucks ever in life. And I do that at the house. So there's that.
Yeah,
parenthetically, Starbucks is bad.
Yeah, you can tailor it to your taste. But yeah, it keeps them in leggings, Uggs. They're big SUVs to go pick up the kids because they ain't got nothing to do all day except for go to Starbucks, go have goat yoga with their girlfriends while the husband's out making money, being the Republican that he is, oppressing his woman.
Amen.
The usual.
Amen.
Status quo, man. You got to keep it.
I don't even know. And for okay, segue. And for the blacks. And for the blacks.
Segue.
That are even considering voting for Donald Trump in the fall. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all are that without worth.
Ooh.
That's $600.
Ooh.
A PPP loan that you might get prosecuted over.
Not immediately, but you will.
And 4 horrible years that you really would like to ignore and forget happened. It's all it takes for you to vote for this guy. I saw Snoop. You see Snoop the other day. Snoop said, "Oh, Snoop's a good guy. He's my guy. He ain't bad at all." I'm like,
I heard about
Snoop, go somewhere and smoke a joint. How about that?
It's like Snoop, man. You've had like 5 lives. Chill, bro. Go live another one of them or something.
And I get it. He's on the Dave Chappelle train. Stupid. He's not working for you. He's working for me, right? Mm-hmm. But still, like, if you ain't worth $200,000, if $600 buys your vote, you should always vote Democrat. If $600 is all you need.
Yep.
Right. I'm just saying that because by my calculations, Democratic policies, by and large, although they haven't been particularly fair to middle class people or to black people for forever, but if it's only $600, I know people get more than that on food stamps. Right. I know people that get more than that in Medicaid adjustments to their medication.
Sure, I know. I need middle class. I need $600.
Yo, have you heard? Oh my God, have you heard about the new tax stuff?
What? No, not yet. How they've widened the tax brackets?
Okay, so I learned something I didn't know. So this year, or actually last year, depending upon how much money you make, right? There's been a stair-step increase in taxes that people are paying to the government during tax season. Because when Trump was president and Paul Ryan was speaker, they passed a tax plan to give a tax break to rich people. And they paid for it by increasing taxes on everybody else, but doing it over a 7-year period. So that the tax increases that we would see on our taxes, we would see while a Democrat is president.
Oh.
So now if you filed your taxes, like I talked to a buddy of mine last year, he's in a higher tax bracket than mine. He was like, man, I filed my taxes and I actually owe. And I did the same thing this year that I did last year. What the freak is going on? And I'm like, well, back a couple years ago, they created this tax plan, and it means that middle class people are going to be paying more in taxes, and you're not going to know it. Like they gave you they reduced the payroll tax, right, or the money that gets taken out of your check for payroll and for all these other things, and they give it back to you, right? They put it in your paycheck, but then they tax you more.
But then they
like and now, like,
make it seem like
taxes,
something.
if you haven't filed your taxes, you're going to see it.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to see it, and it's really bad. I was watching this lady on TikTok explain it. She's like a CPA, and she was explaining how each year a different tax bracket got added, like got hit with it, and this year it's the lowest income people. So people that are making less than $50,000 a year, that normally they get a couple grand back on their taxes, right? Because they're in the lowest tax bracket, and you would assume that they're going to get hit with it this year. So
whereas, how does that work out? Because what happened is we're going to stop spending. You're going to forcibly send us into a recession.
That's a part of the plan, to blame a Democratic president, to perpetuate the need for a Republican to come in and to fix the situation, which they never do.
To save us.
Like, even if we got a Republican president, where are they going to cut taxes from now? Like, whose taxes can they cut? They're not cutting taxes for poor people, for middle class people anymore. They're not going to do that. They have to pay for the tax cuts for the rich people. So you got to tax us. So where are you going to cut taxes from now? Like, there's literally not too many other places.
All I know is I heard that there's a lot of money that's unaccounted for floating around the government somewhere that they can't account for. Like, I don't know what happened to this.
First of all, who's they?
They.
Who's that? Who?
They
no.
There.
No. There's someone that can account for that money. They know exactly where it's going. Just like that $3 billion the Pentagon can't find every single year. No. They know where that money's going. Where that money's going.
But that's our money. Like, what do you mean you don't want to tell us where our money's going?
What do you mean you don't have to tell us? What do you mean you can fail in the audit? Yeah, right. It's like, just like, what do you mean you don't have to come to a congressional subpoena? Yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah, yeah, all that. It's all the same thing. It's all the same. It's all the same thing.
All I know is we need to get those bums. Like, you should not be able to sit in Congress for 20 plus years. You should not be able to do that, because this is what it opens you up to. It opens you up to lobbyists. It opens you up for corruption and perpetuating corruption. And like, it's a horrible system for us, the people.
I don't particularly care about the fact that you've been there for 20 years.
I do.
Right. I mean, you got to have some.
Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
You got to have, is there supposed to be checks and balances? I have a problem with them not heeding to the system of checks and balances. I have a problem with them allowing people that are unfit, not because they've been there for 20 years, but because they should have retired when they were 70.
Yeah, why are you
or 70, not even 70, say 75, right?
What would you what age limit would you put on this? Because I'm like 65. Like, if you're old enough to retire, you're not allowed to do this.
Well, no, you gotta.
Nope.
There's value in the wisdom of elders to a point.
Okay.
Right. Like, there's people that are 75 that have the wisdom necessary, and that, and then there's people that are 68 that should not be in Congress. They don't have the mental capacity to understand the problems of present day Americans. Right. Like, and you can't, there's no test that you can give them for that. You just have to be not lazy enough to vote people out when it's time for them to go.
Like I said, if you're old enough to be in the retirement age and get and draw Social Security, you can counsel, but that is it.
I mean, if you can still, but like, if you can still travel your district heavily, okay, I could see it. I could see it. But even still, like, we know, put it like this. Let's approach it from a different angle. We all know people that have been around way too long. Way too long. Justices of the Supreme Court as well.
Yeah.
Right? presidents as well, right? Like if you really look at it, Reagan was around way too long. He never should have got that second term. He never should have got the first term, but never should get the second term because he was mentally compromised. But nobody cared because he was, like the Republicans had power, so they worked around him, and and it's the same way right now. The only reason he was allowed to run, the only reason we propped him, the only reason we voted for him is because he was the only guy that we knew that enough white guys and white girls would vote for to get rid of Trump. It's the only reason. That's the only reason. And he knows it too. He knows he should be gone. He knows he could croak at any minute. And the sad part is, and this is going to sound real bad, I'm going to say it anyway. As much as militant as they are, they dare not assassinate him because then you get a black woman president.
It's true. Somebody was like, "Yeah, let's not." Dang it.
We're gonna have to let this play out. Let this one play out.
Dang it.
Not gonna happen.
Right. Whatever. All right.
I'll be honest with you. I really wish that he would get elected and then be like, "All right, I'm out."
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
He gets elected, takes the oath of office again, and then a month later at the State of the Union, I can't. It like Magic. Like Magic Johnson. I'm not gonna be here. They got the funniest when you quit a job, man. Hey, Magic. I mean, you see the state of things, man. What do you think is gonna happen? He's like, I'm not gonna be. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. Just do it on national TV. Like, no.
He was live. That's what he can take delay. This dude was live on TV. Nah, I'm not gonna be here.
Yo, like they would. Do you know how hot they would be? That would throw up all their plans. Like completely throw it out the window. Done.
And you know what would happen? She would have to get a blackety black VP. Black male, not light skinned Obama.
Her enforcer.
Not light skinned Obama. I'm talking about a blackety black one. That's the only way she stayed around, bro. They let her get in there. Oh my God.
Man.
This is the only way she makes it through her term. That's the only way. Got to pass the paper. You have to fail the paper bag test to VP if that happens.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm sitting here in Texas right now, deathly afraid that they're serious about this idea of succeeding from the union and what that means. Like, come on, man.
Can't even keep your power on.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. They can when they want to.
When they want to.
When they want to spend the money. You know what I mean? Sidebar. So Texas's power is deregulated. They have one company that presents power, but they let a whole bunch of other companies sell you power.
Yeah.
So it'd be like if Duke Energy just was like, all right, anybody can buy from us and sell it to whoever they want. Right?
How does that even work? That's weird.
It's wholesale, same thing. It's just like, remember, it's just like Sprint and cell phones. Hey, we're Sprint. You can buy our phones anywhere. Best Buy, freaking Radio Shack. Oh, I'm old. Circuit City. You buy them anywhere you can find them, right?
Circuit City's old.
Hey, man. Hey, I can remember spending $500 on an Onkyo home entertainment system back in 2003 from Radio Shack. That joint was silver. It was 700 watts. It was 5 speakers and a sub, and that joint knocked me in Circuit City.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host is old as dirt. Thank you. That's the show.
Hey, man, and getting older by the day. getting older by the day. Shoot, look. You want to know how old I am?
How old?
I'm so old. I don't even get bothered by these new black names. Nope.
Wait,
I don't get bothered by it.
What new black names?
So you remember the skit that Key and Peele had, the All-Star Game, and they had jacked up names.
Yeah,
absolutely hilarious. I used to be upset. I used to be a school teacher, so I used to have to deal with that, and they used to make me mad. Why can't you just name your kid something, right?
Something normal.
Why can't it be
or black
Darius?
normal?
Why can't it be Darius and not Jadarius or
Mm.
Quandarius? It used to annoy me, right?
Yeah, they want to be different.
But the older you get, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you understand that some things are just, they actually have a real purpose. So I was listening to someone, they were like, much like trauma can be passed down, traditions are passed down as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're making the point that, first of all, black names are not harder than white names to pronounce. White people just don't want to do it. Let's be clear.
Well,
Like,
all the silent vowels don't help either.
no. I'm not cutting any of them any slack. If you can pronounce any of the names from anybody in the impressionistic period, or any of the names from anybody that lives in Germany, outside of Berlin, or that lives in Norway, then you can pronounce black names. I don't cut them no slack for that. Black names, African names, South American names, no slack for that. You're not doing it. It's just whiteness in work, right? It's a microaggression. The microaggression. Get the heck out of with that crap. But one of the reasons why it became a tradition within blackness is thought to be because the only way for you to have an opportunity to find your children after they were sold in slavery was to give them a unique name.
Right.
And I read that and I was like, well,
that is interesting. That makes sense.
Like the tradition, the habit, the pattern of black people giving their children unique names was born out of the hope, knowing that their children were going to be sold into slavery in a plantation that was not where they were, that they might one day have an opportunity to find them and reunite. And the only way that they would know them is by the unique name that they gave them.
You know what's funny about that? That puts Django in a very new light, because his wife's name was Brunhilde, which was German, and which was very uncommon for a black woman to have a German name.
You think about all these commas and U's and V's and stuff that we put on our names. This ain't new. This has been happening for quite some time, but it was purposeful. It was functional. It's like, yo.
Yeah. But I mean, but then also, you've been in a position of where you had to hire people and look at resumes and stuff. Like, so how did that put any bias on which resume you pulled?
Yeah, at the time it did, because I was younger. I didn't have this information that I have now. I did not have this understanding that I had now. Right. So let me clean it up a bit. It didn't necessarily change the resumes that I pulled. It changed how I looked at the resumes that I looked at. Right. Right. Because I never threw away a resume simply on the name. Right. Like, I was tempted to. Like, if you came through
Quantavious.
No. If you came through and your name was John Smith, I'm probably not looking at your resume. Sorry. If you came through and you got like, 4 consonants before a vowel in your name, I don't care if it's of the black persuasion or the white persuasion. The way I'm looking at your resume, it's back then, right? Because we're talking 15 years ago, right? Back then, it's like, I don't know if I want to go through the trouble of saying this name. It was stupid. It was ignorant. That's what it was, right? But I still look at the resume, and if the resume was good, then I give it a nickname right at the top of the page, put it in the stack to look over later, and that sort of thing. But I can understand how people that use English to perpetuate whiteness and anti-blackness, anti-minority, will use that. Like, it's a thing. It's a very big thing. And it's, again, anti-blackness is real. It's very real, right? And the fact, first of all, the fact that we have a tradition to create unique names in the first place is absolutely horrifying.
Wait, have you ever met any white people with black names before?
All the time.
Really? So have you ever met a white Tyrone?
Yeah. I met white Lakeishas, my dude. What are you talking about?
I've never. So it's very interesting to me.
Like, I mean, there's a there's a lot that you'd be shocked about if you took the time to take time in states in between Georgia and Texas.
And honestly, I
There'd be
haven't
a
really
you
I haven't really
think
seen a lot of white
about
Jameses.
America
Well, there's a couple white Jameses that I know personally, but
because the black
that's borderline. Like, yeah, like James is real borderline. Yeah,
Right? They only that name will be James, but they don't ever call themselves James because that's a black
Jim.
name. Jim is the
Jim.
Thank you. You spend some time in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and you'll find out a whole lot about whiteness that you thought only applied to blackness.
To me, the white Lakeisha would be very interesting.
Always very interesting. They're always very interesting. I've never met one that was not.
Yeah, that would be super interesting.
Lakeisha, Miss Steal Your Man? Yes. Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes. But no,
like I don't mean to make fun of anybody's name if that is your name, but it's just we don't come across it that often. I just don't.
Everything that they accuse black people of happens in between Georgia and Louisiana and Texas. Everything.
Now, the black name that annoys me, that you wanted to make it so different that you just said it backwards, was Samaj. It's James backwards.
Or Nevaeh. Same thing.
Yeah, that one too. That one got played out. It was like, because you either wanted to name your daughter Heaven or Nevaeh, and it's like, what?
But it's the uniqueness of it. Like I get it. Like I get it. And the fact that it's used against people it makes me so mad, man. It's just like okay, I'm here in Texas, right? And in Texas, got a lot of Latino people in here. A lot of people that speak Espanol, right? And they be looking at these people like because they can't speak English. Well, first of all, let me back up. Because that's not true. Everywhere but Texas, this happens. Mm-hmm. Everywhere else, you see these people and they speak in Spanish but in broken English, they get looked at like they're idiots, right? That's annoying to me. That makes me upset. Yeah. That makes me upset. It's like, have you ever been to Spanish and tried to speak Spanish? You sound like them trying to speak English, right?
Look, I've spent a lot of time in other countries, and yes, I have no preconceived notion. Hey, you speak whatever it is you want to speak. I will try to understand you if we're having a conversation, because that's just the respect that you should be given.
The fact that you just trying to speak English was afflicted language to begin with.
Yeah. Well, because English is nothing but Latin and German put together. So it's like,
first of all, and that would be if America spoke English. Let's start there. Have you been to Baltimore recently? No, you haven't. They don't speak. They don't speak. They have their own. And the funny thing is, okay, so I went to school for this, right? The reason why I got my communications degree is because I sat in a class with someone and they explained to me, they were talking about AAVE, African American Vernacular English, and they were talking about the regional dialects that English has in different communities, particularly of color.
Right.
And she went through and she did like accents from different parts of the country. And I was like, I never thought about it like that. Never thought about it like that. And I was so enthralled in learning these different accents because, people say I don't have one. I got like 3 or 4. You know what I mean?
I would have to say, yeah, you're pretty neutral.
A lot of work, my parents, and the fact that I know a lot of people. Like I can sound like I'm from up north until I get up north, and they be like, "You're not from here." I'll be like, "I know I'm not. Y'all rub off so easy," and I can sound like I'm from the deep south, and they be like, "But you're not from here." I know it rubs off, But out here, they don't even be trying. They just go with the Spanish, bruh. And it's so liberating. Like, either they speak English, like either they speak it enough to be conversant,
right?
Or they don't even try. And it's like, I mess with that.
Yeah.
If there was a store right in front from my house, I'll walk in that store. If I have a question as to where something is, I just don't ask it.
What?
There's no reason to.
You walk up and down the aisles aimlessly, like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not it.
I go to that store when I'm bored because I know it's a 20-minute drip. I go to get milk. I know where milk is. That's about it. And ice cream. I know where milk and ice cream is.
Leche.
No, I mean,
Dando eres leche.
only because all milk is always in a corner of the store, right?
True. Yes. As long as you see the refrigerators, you can find the milk.
Because it's more economical to keep milk in the corners because it's back near a corner. You keep them colder that way. Yeah. Whatever. That's the reason why I know where the milk and the ice cream is. Everything else, man.
Leche.
I walked in there one day. I was like, "Hey, excuse me, refried beans," and she looked at me and walked away. She looked at me and walked away. I was like, I shouldn't even tried it. I'm sorry for wasting your time, man. Go ahead. It's all good. This is not my story. The fact that you stopped and listened to me, I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
I am so very grateful. You know what I mean? It's so
That's
bad.
funny.
So bad.
That is so
It's
funny.
so bad, man. Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
That is awesome.
Oh. But yeah, no, I just this is funny to me. All right, man. Come on, let's close it up. Hey, we got a new part of the show. Got a new part of the show.
Yep.
Before we close it up, what brought you joy this week?
I found out I'm getting a bonus.
Word! We getting a bonus?
Yeah, we getting a bonus.
Word.
But unfortunately, due to my tax bracket, I don't know how much that I'm actually going to get. So,
yo, for real. Oh, Jesus of Nazareth.
It's it's like, hey, you're getting a bonus. I'm like, yeah, wait, taxes.
Okay,
Stupid.
so listen, Linda, listen.
listen, Linda. Listen.
Did you have an idea that you were getting a bonus?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well then, there you go. So, what I used to do when I knew I was getting a bonus, I would change my withholdings for that month.
You're the second person that told me that today.
I'm just trying to help you out.
Literally the second person that told me that today.
I'm just trying to help. I used to work at Sonic Automotive?
Yeah.
If we hit our numbers, I would change my withholdings.
The other person said you should go exempt for like a week until you get it and then flip it back.
So I would listen to a person that has a lot of money talk about the way that he was making like 200. Well, he was making almost 200 grand for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, I only let them take taxes out for 10 months. Right.
Yep. The same person that told me that said he does the same thing.
Because technically speaking, if I let them take taxes out for those 10 months, and that will cover my tax bill, those other 2 months, they're mine, and I can do with them. And I can make more money off of those 2 months than I would if I get that money back as a tax return. Right. And chances are I'm going to owe anyway. Right. If I do this wrong, I'm going to owe anyway. So like, that's just how I get down. I was like, dang, yo, that's dope. How much money do you make? He was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to tell you that. I was like, I know. I'm like, yeah, I know how much money you make. A whole lot more than me.
Way
what
more.
I'm going to do is I'm going to go in this PeopleSoft real quick, click, change that tax withholding to exempt and get my full bonus check.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Person tell me that.
It only works if you can do it electronically without having to file any paperwork.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If you have to file paperwork, then it doesn't work. But a lot of companies, it's like PeopleSoft. You just go in, change your withholdings, you get that check, and you wait a couple of days, change it back.
Yeah.
Change it back.
Makes sense.
So yeah, found out you're getting a bonus. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Happy to hear.
Yeah.
Happy to hear.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. What about you?
Interesting.
What?
Interesting. A lot of things brought me joy. I was rewatching Ted Lasso. Love Ted Lasso. Brings me joy every time I watch it. Found out that I'm getting a bonus too. Can't change my withholdings because it's a process. And even if I did, it's not going to matter.
Right.
But I was talking with my wife earlier today, and she was like,
"Another baby,
Dominique, I'm not the cussing type, especially. I'm not. I am not. However, that comment elicited all kinds of words in my mind. Okay. I'm here to tell you that was not comical. That was not humorous. No ha ha, no hee hee on this side of the screen.
Oh shoot!
My wife would never.
God.
My wife would never tell me we're pregnant again. You want to know why? Because she'd have to explain. She'd have to explain how it was God's baby. That's how. That's what. I don't think she can do it.
Joseph, I'm pregnant. What? What? I thought. What? Something's not right here.
Even in the Bible, Joseph got an angel too. Mm-hmm. I ain't getting no angel. So you can tell me why. You can tell me why you carrying this baby to term, because let's not forget we are in Texas, and I can't have no more kids. So no,
oh my gosh,
no. I was talking with my wife, and we're talking about the countdown is on 10 years and 5 months. 10 years and 5 months till we'll be empty nesters, and we're already plotting what we're gonna do. Right, like I'm losing weight. Like I've lost since June of last year. I've lost 30 pounds.
All right.
Which is great.
That is what's up.
Come June of this year, I plan to lose another 30 pounds. And let me tell you why. Because my son's just big enough to almost dunk, and he thinks he can dunk on me. Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen. Never happen.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the fact that we're best. She's my wife. She's also my best friend, and I'm her best friend. So when our kids go to college,
right?
When Silas goes to college,
you're gonna stalk them. Yeah.
Stalk them.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas here, right?
Crazy. They gonna be trying to find us. We gonna be gone. You don't understand, dude.
Hey, Dad, Mom, Dad, I'm coming home this weekend. Oh, okay. Well, we're not there.
I'm about to lose. I'm gonna lose 30 pounds by June, and by my birthday, another 15 pounds. Right?
Man, wow.
If I lose this 45 pounds, but when they leave, oh, you might see me on a mountain.
Doing what? Oh my god! Yo,
see me out there hang gliding. You're 55. Why you hang gliding? Kids gone.
Why not? You know.
Why not? No, but yeah, no, that brought me a whole lot of joy. I was thinking about
that's
that.
Cool.
Yeah, man. So
that's cool.
Anyhow,
happy y'all. Happy for you.
Another kid.
I mean,
that ain't funny.
Look, that's why I like my kids be like, yeah, guess what? I just throw out random stuff. My wife be like, what? I'm like, I don't know. It's a guess.
I think God loves me too much to give us another kid right now. Ever. Like, no, that would be, I'd have to do something real bad for that to happen. Seriously, like, no, no, don't worry. You'll get here in a little bit. You be like, another kid. I'm embracing my pawpawness. That's coming in about 10 years or something like that. I don't know. Well, okay, so let me tell you why I said 10 years. Right? Silas will be 18. Sam will be 30. It will be 26, 25. And Sydney will be 22. Right? So in 10 years, I should have an outlook on, grandkids. Right? So I'm embracing all of that. Can't wait. But another kid?
You just want one that you can get back. Be like, hey, yeah, we take him out for a little bit. All right, here you go. Later.
Spoil
he had
a
whole bunch of candies and cookies before we dropped them off.
Tell them exactly how to annoy their mother and father and send them back home. Yes, that's what grandparents do. That's the beauty of it. Impart unto them wisdom that confounds their parents and send them back home. Yep. That's what it is.
Okay. So that's what's up. Well, for all of you out there, hope you found joy today in something. In something. Put in the comments what it is, please. And we will catch you guys next week. This has been the show. Once again, This is my co-host Steven, and I'm Dom, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys
later.